What's up, people, and welcome to another Lee's Corner. What's up, people? Glad y'all came back with me for yet another Lee's Corner. We have a lot to talk about today, as we usually do. These topics I've been waiting for a minute. I was waiting for some good shit to pop up to report to y'all, and it's some good stuff. So, without further ado, we're gonna jump into the topics of our day. We're gonna go to the NFL, who has agreed to end race-based brain testing. Now, we're gonna go into all of that and what that's about in a minute. We're also gonna talk about the Oscar snubs. We're going to talk about, Angela Bassett and how she got snubbed. We're going to talk about Viola Davis and the Woman Kings movie that didn't even get nominated for the Oscars. Next, we're going to talk about Scott Adams, excuse me, the creator of the Dilbert comic strips. Now, who watch comic strips? Who reads newspapers? I don't know. But he was a white dude who did some Dilbert comic strips that was really famous in all the newspapers, and he made some derogatory comments about African Americans recently, and lost his job. So we're gonna do that and more when we come back in just like 1 minute. Stay tuned to Lee's Corner. What's up, people? We are back. We are back. I think the first thing we have to talk about today is the NFL. This goes out to all my, people who love the NFL, love football. Look, I have no problem with the NFL. Well, let me rephrase. I have no problem with football. I like sports like everybody else likes sports. I do not watch every game, every Monday Night Football. No, that's not me. That's just not who I am. I'm a movies guy. But I don't begrudge people who watch it. But what I have been noticing about black people, a lot of black people, since the whole Colin Kaepernick and things that happened before, is that we don't seem to ride or die with our people when stuff is surrounding sports. I mean, this brother actually took a knee. For to bring attention to the atrocities that were happening to black people due to police violence. And, there was people, he lost his whole, job, his whole career. He's doing a lot better now. And that just goes to show you that guy got something playing for everybody. Maybe this was supposed to be what he was supposed to do with his life. But I'm just saying a lot of black folks didn't stop watching the game. They didn't stop, nothing. They just kept on status quo. I'm gonna watch the game. Fuck you. I'm gonna watch the game. Then you have Jerry Jones coming out for the Cowboys, the owner. He's in a picture at Little Arkansas trying to keep black children out of school. Now then you have all these plantation Negroes sitting up there, even ex Cowboys players talking about, he was just in the picture. That don't mean anything. Even Jerry Jones on the stuff that he said himself was like, well, we didn't know it was going to turn into what happened. In other words, you didn't know niggas was going to get real rights. You didn't know that we was going to turn into the situation where you own a Dallas Cowboy team with more black people than anything else. You didn't know that we was going to become as big as we were. So it was all okay until we got our rights, or at least some of them. We got our rights, but we don't got them enforced. So you was okay with it as long as, we weren't looked at as human in your eyes. So, Jerry Jones said a lot in his interview that most people didn't even catch, and most people didn't care because they still watching the sport. And that's what I'm saying. Black people, man, I'm telling you, do you know when white people have problems like that, they boycott. ASAP, they boycott. That's what white folks do. They love to boycott. You don't catch them slipping like that. They let everybody know, nah, we done. They tell everybody they march. They don't march, but they go outside places and picket and everything else and let you know that we ain't for this shit. They go on social media telling people not to do this, not to do that. Don't watch this movie. Don't watch this. Watch this woke shit. Watch that. Watch this. We don't do shit like that. No, somebody got to die 3 times over for that, but it ain't just that. And look, I understand we have racism and everything. You can't control everything. As far as like even clothes that you buy. I mean, you can't control clothes that you buy because it's so saturated with white people. I mean, you go down to Walmart, almost everything there is probably created by white people. But I'm saying the things that you can help, you should do. Something as simple as turning the channel off of a football game and making them lose money because they ain't respecting y'all should be something we all can agree on to do. But we don't. Well, here's another one. Here's another feather for your cap for the NFL. The NFL agreed to end race-based brain testing in a $1 billion, that's billion with a B, settlement on concussions. Now, to break this all down, basically what it comes down to is they were not paying black folks the same amount as they were for white dudes when they got hurt in the game for concussions. Why? Let's go into that. When NFL had to start paying out concussions related to damages to former players, the NFL literally argued, excuse me, the NFL literally argued in court. This is recently, 2021-22, recently argued in court that the NFL literally argued that black players should get less money because they had less mental capacity to lose. That's your NFL. That's what you're paying for. That's what Jay-Z got in there to help. Right. This ain't some old archaic rule they had on the books and was taken off 2 years later. This has been there since the NFL started and just got taken off right now because they lost, or I wouldn't say lost, but made a settlement of $1 billion, and now they took the rules off the books. So if they could continue to get away with it, they would. If this did not come out, they would have continued to get away with it and use that rationale. They already think you're stupider than you are. Who else did that? U.S. military thought we were dumb too. Oh, our brains couldn't handle us flying in the air like white. We ain't got like white people brains. And the NFL saying the same thing. Basically, the NFL is saying, why am I going to pay you for a concussion of a loss or the diminished capacity when your brain wasn't that smart in the first place? That's basically what he was saying. That's basically what their lawyers argued. Y'all wasn't smart, no way. So why are we going to pay y'all more for your concussion? It's not like we injured anything real. This is what they're saying. This was been on the books that nobody's even okay. But like I said, these are why I bring up these particular topics, because I want y'all to know how this affects Black and African Americans, people, African American diaspora. This is how it affects us, because we still playing in this slavery game. And get your money whenever you can. I don't care. All I'm saying is, how can you hang out with these people and work for these people who have these rules on the books, these archaic rules on the books that not to be true, but you don't get the same. Even today in 2021, 2022, you wasn't getting the same amount of money for concussions and diminished capacity from concussions as your white counterpart. But this goes to this goes to critical race theory. All the white people that's trying to ban critical race theory. This is why we have critical race theory, because things like this that we can prove through calculation, through actually looking at the system's lenses and looking at the system's controls and the rules that they make, by going in there and adding it up and subtracting it and finding out, okay, how often is this being used against Black people, and in how many situations, how many times is it happening, in what institutions. So like I said before, it's even, as we know now continuously, it's even in the sports institution. So now it's not just bad medical care. It's not just bad getting paid less on the job. It's not just it's just not the prison pipeline situation as we thought before. It's not just the banking industry. It's everything. It's everything. They got a system set up because, like they said before, we weren't supposed to get loose. Black folks weren't supposed to get loose. This whole situation was set up for Black people to be slaves. You weren't supposed to get loose. This whole idea that they lied to you about America the free, America the brave, if you just work hard, was all bullshit. If you go check out the Founding Fathers wanted the country to be ran by rich landowners. That's true. Those fact. Go look that up. Since people are so brave and so want to talk about Constitution, go read up on the Founding Fathers. The Founding Fathers wanted another Europe. They wanted another England. They moved away from that place so they could start a new one here, where they could be the oligarchs, where they could be the ones in control, and just doing the same thing that they did in Europe. They just wanted that stuff over here. Don't believe all the lies about and the propaganda about the bullshit about we wanted to practice our own freedom of religion and our own. Yeah, that was part of it. But they really wanted to be their own kings and rulers over here and start anew with new people. in charge. That's all. And they succeeded because they created the formula to just like over in Europe to make certain people haves and then your have nots who build your stuff that you have and you sit on them and soak them for everything they can. And that's what they do. But that's why I bring these stories to you because these stories are what black people need to hear. Even if you don't do anything about it, I told you. So you can't say you didn't know. Next, okay, let's go on to my girl, Angela B. Angela Bassett, Oscars. Excuse me. Now, the Oscars is another thing. I'm a movie guy, so that was really important to me. I was really upset about people talking shit about Angela Bassett, and a lot of these things came from black people, which was really shocking to me. But it shouldn't be, because we dog our own people more than we dog white folks or anybody else that's done us wrong. Oh, we'll jump on our own people in a minute. Oh, we'll dog our own people out in a second. The self hate is the self hate for your culture is real. It is so real, and I don't know why. White people did a great job on teaching us how to hate ourselves. They really did excellent job on teaching us how to hate ourselves because we do it like nobody else, unfortunately. But there were some people talking about she was being unprofessional. She was supposed to get up and clap and dance and sing like everybody else did. Look, when you win the awards or lose the awards, everybody is not supposed to have the same reaction. Your original reaction is usually your right reaction. Um, and I don't know what everybody else saw. I can't tell what everybody else saw, but I know what you guys were saying. She was hating. She was angry. She was. If you go back and look at that clip, that woman was hurt. And see, here's the thing. From watching the Golden Globes and SAG, all these award shows leading up to the Oscars, it was making it look like she was going to win the Oscar because if you win for this, you win for that. And Black Panther was winning and winning and winning. Wakanda Forever was winning and winning. And then you get down here and they lose. It's a hurtful thing, but not for what you think. Because everybody now want to say when white people get upset or whatever, it's like, oh, but it is the Oscars. But when black people do it, we always supposed to be the better sports, right? It's just a trophy. Why do you care? Shut the fuck up. Have you worked in the industry? Have you ever worked hard for anything in your life? Have you ever got passed up for promotion and been angry or upset or hurt by it? Right. Well, then act like that's who that is and shut the fuck up. All we saying is asking for is a little bit of grace here. Everybody deserves a little bit of grace. That's all I'm saying. But you jump immediately, you're not professional, you're not this, you're not this. Shut the hell up. Like I said, from my point of view, and Miss Angela Bassett, if you ever see this, and I hope you do, I would like to say I think you acted appropriately. Not that you care what I think, and you shouldn't, but I think you acted appropriately. I think from what I have seen from you guys on Wakanda Forever and the first Black Panther, I thought it was hurt because, as we all know, this is a love letter to Chadwick Boseman. This last movie was a love letter to Chadwick Boseman. Everybody came with their A game and they gave their best performances. Now, I'm not saying this is her better performance more than anything, but Angela Bassett gave one of her best performances in this movie, and I think the lady should have won because she gave her heart in this movie, and you can tell that. She laid it out on the line, and they killed her off. What the hell? That's neither here nor there. But she gave one of her best performances that I ever seen, and she really made me believe. And I think that's why she looked hurt. I think that's why she had that look on her face, just like, she was hurt. Not jealous, not angry. She was hurt because she wanted to do it for Chadwick Boseman. And if I said Michael Boseman earlier, I'm sorry. She wanted to do it for Chadwick Boseman. This was a love letter to him. All of them, Letitia Wright, all of them was saying that this movie was a love letter and a way to grieve Chadwick Boseman and to move on into the franchise, but also to do it in the right way that was honoring his legacy. And I think they did it. Now, the lady who won, I'm a big fan of too, because I'm a fan of Halloween, and I can't think of her name right now, and it's really bad, but whatever. I just think y'all need to give her a damn break and quit tripping. I really do. Y'all need to give her a break and stop acting. And I'm like I said before, I'm really glad that she has not entertained the thoughts of these ignorant ass people online, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, talking this bullshit and leaving these. It's easy to play hardcore when you behind a screen and can't nobody see you. But yeah, I just think I think that's pretty messed up on their part. But congratulations anyway. You did a great job, and the movie proves what we always knew is that we have black excellence, and we always have. We can sell out overseas. We can sell $1 billion franchises, and we will let it be known too that Angela Bassett was the only one that has gotten an Oscar for a genre movie. She's the only one. She made history. The movie made history for comic book characters and genre movies everywhere. I think a lot of genre movies don't get the credit. There are horror movies that people do great acting in. There are comic movies that do great, but they don't give them the Hollywood is stuck up like that. The Oscars are stuck up like that. They are. Hollywood Foreign Press, they stuck up like that. Has to be some crazy movie that you don't understand to get an Oscar. Oh, that's an independent film, or that's an art film. You know, art films are usually films nobody understands. That's what I don't understand what happened, but I guess that must have been an art film. Yeah, okay, everybody clap. So that's the problem that you have with that. Let's go to Viola Davis real quick. Viola Davis was snubbed too. Her Warrior King was snubbed, and that was weird because they got a lot of wins earlier on in the season as well, and for them to get snubbed was weird. But check this out: when you go to the Oscars, you know all the Oscars are people that you work with. Those are the people that vote. Is the people that you work with, your peers. Now, what got me was one of these anonymous voters for the Oscars, who is one of your peers, had the nerve to say, not that Viola Davis and them said anything, but Viola Davis and the lady director didn't even give the black director any kind of credence or nothing. I mean, no kind of, didn't even want to say her name. But Viola Davis and the lady director need to shut up and sit down. Every time something goes wrong for them, they go beating their frying pans because she didn't get picked. I'm like, oh, beating their frying pans? What kind of racist bullshit is this? Okay, but like I said, you know somebody white. And you know what? I shouldn't even say that because that could have been a black person doing it too. Because sometimes black people like throwing them down too. But I'm gonna say it's a white dude. I really am. Because then they went ahead and said what's so funny was like we picked the best people that we could and we made the best choices out of the movies that we watched. And then the anonymous source also mentioned that he didn't even watch Warrior King, Woman King. Excuse me. He didn't even watch Woman King. So how'd you pick the best when you didn't even watch the movies? You got one job. Watch the movies and vote. That's your one job. How'd you not even watch the movie? See, like I said before, Hollywood is not a liberal town, people, just to let y'all know. California is not a liberal town. It is a liberal state solely based on white privilege, solely based on the rights of animals, especially dogs. Oh, they love that shit. Dogs and animals have more liberal rights than African Americans do. They have more liberal rights than African Americans do. That's fair. They just come up with this liberalism to make you feel like we for everybody, and that's what they do. And that's to their fault. We're accepting of everything, and I'm like, really? We accept everything? Really? That's the problem. You shouldn't accept everything. Everything that you think is cool and good for you, But that's neither here nor there. But that's California. That's Hollywood. Hollywood don't like letting people in either. That's another thing too. They swear they're so liberal. Come on, bring us your movies, bring us your stuff. But like they said before, you just now starting to get black directors. You just now starting to get black people to be able to greenlight their own shit. That's why I give Tyler Perry so much kudos because to start your own company where people got to come shoot on your sound stages. That's what's up, and that's what all black people should be doing. The dude that played the Falcon in Disney, he started his production company, but not just a production company. He's got like Tyler Perry. He got like an area where they can come shoot on his lot. So that's how we need to start doing it. We need to start doing it, and we need to start making our own affiliations overseas, so we don't have to go through the big boys, Disney and everybody else to get a seat at the table. We need to go get our own seat at the table by going overseas. Shit, do that shit like Frank Lucas. Y'all seen Frank Lucas, American Gangster? That nigga went overseas and got his shit and came back. He went overseas. He said, no, like that. Cut out the middleman. I'm going to go over there and get it myself. But according to white people, foreigners ain't willing to work with Negroes. Frank Lucas showed us something different. They telling us we can't sell to foreigners. Foreigners don't want to see black people. Everybody in this world want black culture. And you telling us we can't sell to black people. People in Asia, everybody want love Wu-Tang Clan, everybody else black culture. But you're telling us we don't sell over there. Now you know we ain't buying that shit. Everybody want black culture. Black culture makes this world go around. But America would fall in a minute if black people move back to Africa. If we all just move back to Africa, they'd fall. They ain't got nothing to sell. You ain't got nothing to sell. You've been selling us since we got here. You ain't got nothing to sell. All right. I digress. Let me move on to this asshole Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert comic strip. Now, I've heard of Dilbert, but I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a dog. I don't know if it's a cat. I don't know. I just don't know. But this white dude went on a rant on YouTube, was so funny. He said a bunch of stuff. I'm going to give you just a couple stuff here. I remember I watched the video and he was just like, well, it seems like black people don't like white people. And every time I see a Instagram or something, it's about some black guy beating up a white guy, and I'm just sick of it, man. I'm just sick of it. I just think we should stay apart from each other. I mean, white people, I think the best thing to do is just move apart. Stay away from them, just because I'm sick of it. Just stay away from them. And you could tell he was really like, he wasn't talking like he was really upset. He was talking like me, but you could tell he was frustrated. I'm like, wow, a white man getting frustrated from black people. Like I said before, we don't have a history of hurting or killing or beating down white people. It's actually quite the opposite. If anybody should be saying this stuff, it should be African Americans, not white boy. But that's understandable, because anytime they see a video or something like that, they get their feelings hurt because they still remember the days or understand the days where, niggas was in their place. You stayed over there. I stayed over here. We even looked at you wrong. Something went wrong. And we was able to handle that right then. But now, like I said, once you're able to move an inch, whenever a Negro's able to do something, you know how the movies go. These niggers got the NAACP, ACLU. Shoot, a white man ain't got no rights no more. Stop that bullshit. Stop it. Because you're stupid. You're stupid. The problem is you don't like it when other people get an inch. You still got your scams going. You still got your redlining. You still got your banks bullshitting us. You still got your fucked up dirty ass cops. You still got your hospitals not giving us the right kind of treatment. Our black women are dying in labor more than white women 10-1 because we ain't getting the right treatment. Banks are railroading and fucking us, giving us fucked up mortgages and loans and every terms and agreements and leases. All this bullshit y'all doing. Cops, we know about the cops. But you still crying because we get a crumb. Tell you white folks, y'all trip. Y'all know who y'all. I'm not gonna go over this. Not every white person is bad. You know the fuck you are. If you ain't bad, then I ain't talking to you. If you are, then shut the fuck up. This is for you. But yeah, I'm not going into that no more. Y'all know me by now to know who I'm talking about, who I'm not. If it ain't you, let it the fuck go. But yeah, so this dude went on there talking all this shit. He even went as far as to say that white people need to stay the hell away. White people need to stay the hell away from black folks. Stay away from them. And then went also as far as to label black people as members of a hate group. He even talked about Black Lives Matter and all them being, hate groups. And I'm like, that's funny. Black Lives Matter hate group. That's interesting. So that's a hate group. Have you looked up what a hate group is? I don't think you have. I don't think you looked up what a hate group is. Because hate groups are basically people not only that hate folks, but actually produce criminal acts to hurt and kill or maim people. Ku Klux Klan, hate group. These neo-Nazis, hate groups. Proud Boys, hate groups. These are people that will come after you just for the color of your skin. You don't have to be, I'll say this again for everybody out there listening, you don't have to be white to be a white supremacist. You could be black. Anything that you use to help further white racism makes you a white supremacist. Every brother ain't your friend. Just like every white guy might not be your enemy. He might not be your friend either. A lot of white people, just because people don't understand, a lot of white people don't understand, just because you're not outwardly racist, don't mean you're not closetly racist. It's going to take some time for you to deal with that and work that out because it's in your DNA. You were raised that way. Even if your mom and dad didn't teach you to hate black people and certain things like that, there are certain privileges that you don't even realize that you have and share that you might use on a daily, like Karenism. You might not think it's a bad thing, but Karenism gets motherfuckers killed too. Yeah, being a Karen, that can get somebody killed. Seeing a nigga walking around in your neighborhood can get him killed. What you calling the police saying there's a black person walking around my neighborhood? It don't matter if he looks lost. It don't matter if he's in a suit. It don't matter what it is. The fact you calling the police on a black man in your neighborhood or in a store or whatever the case may meant, that could mean life or death. But like I said before, that's that Karenism in a lot of white people too that would not even admit to being racist. I'm not racist at all. It just look odd. I mean, can you imagine if we call the cops on a white person wandering around that neighborhood? Hell, the cops would escort him out and ask him, was he troubled when he was there? Did these black people touch you? But when it's a black person, it's always assumed we're a drug dealer or we're looking for trouble or something of that nature. You're where you're not supposed to be, son. What are you doing here? Get a third degree. What you doing over here? Minding my fucking business. So this Dilbert dude, he talked all this shit on YouTube. Scott Adams talked all this shit on YouTube, and then got his cartoon pulled and everything. I'm like, I don't think how he thought he wasn't going to get that done to him in this day and age. But and like I said before, I'm glad companies do it. I'm glad, give them a hand clap. But I'm the dude that knows that companies never cared before. We went hundreds of years where companies were ran by the Klan or had a Klan member working for them and would kill a nigga or be on trial for killing one or hurting one, and that didn't stop no flow from the banks or from any commercial industry from flowing. The only reason why they care now is because there's a backlash even within the white people. If you have a racist on payroll, or if you have somebody that's anti-LGBTQ, or if you have somebody that's something else, you have white people that care. Because we've been caring forever, but they didn't give a fuck about us. But once you get a partiality of the white people who start to care, then all of a sudden businesses say, oh shit, well, we want everybody's money. So how do we do that? Well, that means if something come out about our company, about somebody saying something, we got to stop it right there, fire that person, and put out an apology saying, hey, that does not represent the whole company. That's just this one asshole right there. But back in the day, they didn't do that. Back in the day, it was okay because it was just black folks complaining. It was just black folks complaining. And let's be real. They're seeing the writing on the walls that it's going to be more Mexicans and more blacks, than white people here. And they're getting scared. But the companies they're not getting smarter. That's not what happened. They're watching the writings on the wall. They're analysts. They're seeing what's happening. This is what they do. So they're seeing the writings on the wall. It's not, they don't love you. They don't love you. They don't love you. Disney, I see your rainbows out there and I see your LGBTQ stuff out there at Disney. Where's my Black Lives Matter shit? Where's that at? I'm black and I'm proud shit at? Where's that at? Still ain't seen my black shit yet. I ain't seen that yet. Black Panther and Wakanda ain't gonna do it. You gotta do more than that. But yeah, so dude got Scott Adams got drop kicked. Yeah, he lost his columns and all this kind of stuff. But this motherfucker, I think he was ready to go. You ain't gonna go on YouTube in this day and age and do all this kind of shit. You know what it is. Last but not least, I like to go over a couple of definitions. I'd like to close with this. There is a difference between racists and bigots. Racists are people who can hate you as long as they still have control and power. Jimmy can still be your friend down the road, might not can't give a damn about your ass, but he gonna be cool with you as long as he's still in control. As long as they're still running majority of the shit, they're cool. That's a racist. He can still be a racist, and like I said, as long as he's in control, he's cool. As long as they're still running stuff, they're cool. That's what a racist is. As long as he controls the resources, then we can still be cool. A bigot, he hates your blackness, your very existence because you're black. That's what a bigot is. He hates you. I don't give a fuck if I own resources, if I don't own shit. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Just because you black. You blue black motherfucker. I just hate you. They hate your very being. That's what a bigot is. And most bigots are usually poor. that's just facts. Most bigots are usually poor. I'm not saying that there are any bigots that are rich. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. But as long as they got their one hand on the wheel with our resources, they're pretty okay with the world. It's the biggest that want to just kill everything that moves that's a different color than them because they just don't care about You know, they just don't want you to exist. You know, that's what a bigot is. Because the color of your skin, they just don't want you to exist. Period. That's how they get down. Unfortunately. One last thing. Have y'all noticed? Well, I'm sure you've noticed. But for the black people out there, have y'all noticed how woke is being co-opted? Like Black Lives Matter was co-opted. You know, Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, white lives matter. Remember that shit? Yeah, they're trying to water it down. That's what they're doing so well at. They're trying to make it so trivial with wokeism. And people go, "What is woke?" We all know what woke is. If you black, you know what woke is. And trying to transfer it and having white liberals trying to define it is the stupidest thing in the world. Look, let me make it basic for y'all. This is a black concept. Stop trying to use black concepts when you don't know what it means, or when you do know what it means and you're trying to co-opt it just to wear it out so everybody gets confused. Wokeism for the last time for the black people, and I'll give this for white folks, for the illiterate who don't know or playing stupid. Being woke is the idea of realizing the racism around you and doing something about it. That's what being woke is. Realizing what's going on around you, the racism, the blatant racism, and even the stuff that you can't see but you're told about that it's there. That is being woke. That's what stay woke mean. Be careful. Watch your surroundings. Every deal ain't a good deal. Somebody's always trying to fuck you when it comes to this race shit anyway. So be careful. Stay woke. That's what that means. It don't mean nothing about CRT. It don't mean nothing about LGBTQ. It don't mean nothing about none of that shit. None of that. Let's just be real about that. You heard it from me first if you didn't know. Oh my God, the clueless motherfuckers out here trying to co-opt black people language so you can feed your racist white base is basically what they're doing. But this has been fun, guys. God, this has been fun. Um, that's my time. Don't forget, if you want to, please donate to Phoenix 22 Rise Productions as well as Lee's Corner. We still going strong. We're still doing what we do. There'll be ways for you guys to donate down here. Please feel free. We're taking all donations to keep this thing running, keep it going, keep everything, keep informing y'all on the information that we have. And we do, and we will have more movies coming out. That is a fact. But you can go to phoenix22rising.com and check out what we have here. And just, yeah, come back, join us again on Lee's Corner, where we talk about the things you want to talk about. All right.